Yeah, now the time has come for the lion to tell his own story. Yeah, the one them called Celestial represent for the mighty lion voice. And this a shook up your planet tectonic. As me sip up my roots and tectonic. And you can't make me jump nor get panic. Have the engine a run like mechanic. Room.
The fittest of the fittest shall survive. My people, open your eyes. Wake up. Blessed love, this is Queen Omega representing for all lions and lionesses. With the lion's voice, we come to tell our story. Ras Tafari, live it. Hey, the lion's voice, Ras Tafari.
It's AWTITUDE representing for Lion's Voice. Yes, massive. This is the time for I and I, the lion, them to tell I and I story, our story. Yes, and we reign and rule like this. Reign and rule, yeah. Selassie, I reign and rule. You can't take the lion vibes, people. If you no fool, cause we no Selassie reign and rule. Reign and rule. Selassie, I reign and rule. Queen Omega drop them in the fire, pull from them, no Queen Omega, she reign and rule. Royal Kushite, ancient essence, Emperor Selassie in a majestical presence, flash of all sevens, projecting through I and I events. We sing a song for the king, we bring joy and blessing and understanding, yeah. We hear Jah every day. Reign and rule, yeah. Selassie, reign and rule. Yes, I lion vibes, Selassie, reign and rule. Attitude say that Boondocks, Black Organization of Global Diplomats optimizing expressions to the world. Till the world, till the end.
Amina, the time has come for the lioness to tell our own story. No surrender, no retreat, we are Jaja soldier. Rougher than the streets, tougher than a boulder. Bigging up Lion's voice. Now put it, I Jollifer said that.
Yeah, David Trent of Steel Pulse, and I'm saying hail to Lion Voice because it's time that the lion have its voice, have its own story. Says I'm stepping out here, hear me now. Oh, yeah, the lion's voice. Raw.
Well, Lion Voice, tell them that's the people first choice. Lion Voice, make the lioness them feel nice. Lion Voice, with the lion cubs we sacrifice. Lion Voice, got to show the people them the life. Lion Voice.
What do you have to tell the people about Ras Tafari?
Light to the world. King of kings and the conquering lion of the tribe of Judah. And like himself, first rightful ruler. Hey yo, Iyah, hear them high, hear the black king on the 23rd of July. So tell them guy, who praise God up in the sky, it's a lie. The Almighty living on your night. From ancient time them a try, them Romans know them just open them suit and ties. Criminals ain't got no alibi, they stole my people, then them come without them genocide.
Are you talking about slavery?
Them couldn't kill the lion we come conquer Judah tribe. Go through tribulation, and I strive, see sufferation, and I still rise. That's why we tell them in America, live Rastafari in every ghetto area. We come to tell them in a Toronto, straight to Ethiopia, them youths them want go. Look how we tell them in a Jamaica, I listen, I see the Almighty Creator. So then we tell all the youths in Rome, only one man can sit upon David's throne. Greetings in that divine name of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I. Glory and honor in the name of His chosen Queen, Empress Waziri Menen. My name is Kwasi Bansu, aka the Chasmatch Kwasi, aka Ras Kwasi, aka the Reading Ras, aka the Pan-African Happy Man. I'm a creative industry attorney, I'm an author, I'm an artist, I'm an actionist, and right now I am the host of Lion Talk Live. Welcome to the Lion Voice Network, and welcome to Lion Talk Live, where the lions are telling our own story. And when we say lion, it's lion and lioness. We are telling our own story. We are controlling the narrative. Ras Tafari independent, non-aligned media is rising. We have set our flag. If this is the first time you're watching, I want to welcome the family. We have grown by over 500 subscribers in the last 28 days. Huge contingent coming in from Ghana. Bless up the Ghana family, African family. We are creating a Pan-African platform here so that everyone can see what Rastafari represents. And Rastafari is broad, so with all types of content will be coming forward on the Lion Voice Network. We just dropped episode 4 of Lion Love. If you haven't seen that, talking to Empress Kishela, we are going into relationships, family. What are the single young daughters them looking for in a king man? All them things that we are touch them topics there. So please go and watch Lion Love program, very idolful program. More episodes on the way. We just dropped the first clip from Lion Talk. This is our pre-recorded version. This is Lion Talk Live. We have Lion Talk. 5-star Celestial, one of the young, fiery Rastafari reggae artists coming up in Kingston, Jamaica. We have full reasoning with the brethren. Clip number 1 just dropped. The full interview is on the Patreon for our engine, which is our Lion Pride on Patreon. I have to big up the Lion Pride. If the item subscribe, you're part of the Lion Pride. And I have to big up the Lion Pride on Patreon. Those are the ones who invest financially via this third-party platform, Patreon, to make sure that we can stay independent. Because if we just worry about sponsorship, then when the sponsors them talk, you have to do what the sponsor say, because if you don't write that check, you have to fire all of your staff, everything gone. So this is why we are using the crowdfunding model. So we're asking the Lion Pride globally, if you have a $5 a month, a $10 a month, $25 a month, join the Patreon, you get the interviews early. We're going to start doing some different activations within the Patreon as well, some Zoom calls, different things. We're building community. That is the future of the creative industry for all creatives. We also do offer creative consultation services. You can book them on the website. We have a whole ecosystem model that we are unveiling here, family. And this show, this network is just part of a larger creative ecosystem for the Chasmatch Kwasi. So please tap in and make sure that we get your email direct to consumer. We can get kick off of Facebook. We can get kick off of YouTube. All of these things can happen. So we need to make sure that we have that direct relationship as our global Rastafari Pan-African family. Big up yourself, everyone watching live. I'm so excited about today's episode because a mere family. Garnet Silk said, I saw Zion in a vision and it was like a family reunion. And say Garnet never tell a lie, because every time I really see the manifestation of Zion, you see the ones where you know, where you love, battlefield tested, fire angels, coming together to do the work, to fulfill the Rastafari creed that the hungry be fed, the naked clothed, the sick nourished, the aged protected, and the infants cared for. We have to also add the ignorant instructed. Big up Ras Lidge. Yes, big up yourself from Mia King Design, Ras Lidge, one of our sponsors. We do accept community sponsors, small business sponsors in our community. Ras legit doesn't know. Ras legit see the vision, reach out and say, yeah, we know them man there for decades, you know what I mean? Big up CMAS Life, Wally Kings. You don't know. The greatest CMAS drink. So we do have sponsorship. We're not saying we're not going to deal with sponsorship, but the model is crowd-funded because to be truly independent, you have to be funded by your audience. Also, we are non-aligned, meaning that this is not just Naya Bingi, this is not just 12 Tribe, this is not just Bobo Shanti. We interview or reason with brethren from all mansion, all houses, Orthodox, Pan-African family. You don't even have to be Rastafari. Come on this platform. We are non-aligned. We stand under the order of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Selassie the First, Kadamawi, without apology, and them type of vibration. All right, housekeeping out of the way. We are having a very special episode. During COVID, we started a association of Rastafari creatives. Ones may know that I'm one of the co-founders of the Jamaica Music Conference. And while I was doing this conference, I'm looking around at so many of my Rastafari brethren and sisters. And yes, we're getting the knowledge for the music industry, but I'm saying, how come we're not coming together among ourselves to ensure that this music that is going to the four corners of the earth is actually benefiting the people who are living the life, who are making the sacrifice? You know what I mean? Where is the food security? Where is the connection, I don't like how the man them make it look like all Rastafari just have to be a DJ, run up on a stage. You know what I mean? What happened to the farmers? You know what I mean? So these were the concerns. And, I made some phone calls. And the guests that are coming today are some of the phone calls that were made. These were the first phone calls that were made. They would all become founding members of what would be known as the Association of Rastafari Creatives. Dutty Bookman coined the term. We came together with a whole heap of aspirations, and what we created stands to this day very special. One of the crowning achievements of this Trading Rastafari. Really give thanks. So Lion Pride, please help I to welcome some of the founding members of the Association of Rastafari Creatives. We have Dutty Bookman, Ras Iyah Gift, Ras Weedamiah. We are expecting another guest shortly. We will bring her forward when she comes forward. This is not just a man show, a lion show. The lionesses were there. The balance was there. The balance still is there. So I just want the family to know, say, you know what I mean, the Omega is always represented in the works that I and I do. So I'm just going to ask these brethren, and I know all of these brethren have been on the platform already. So I know they're no stranger to the Lion Pride family, but I'm going to ask them to introduce themselves, and what they do within the creative industry, because it's very key that we understand that ARC is an association of Rastafari creatives. It's a trade association for the creative industry. So we are all about, coming together, bringing our small enterprises, our businesses together, working together, so that Rastafari creates an economic base within the creative industry. So, Bookman, we start with the I, then Weedamiah, and then the Iyah Gift. Just introduce the I themselves and what the I them do within the creative industry space.
Yeah, greetings, man. Greetings to one and all. Good to sight the I them. Everyone on this call, Yeah, man, and good to know that the Lion voice is still going strong in an iration, So my name is Dutty Bookman. I'm a publisher. I also work in the music industry. And yeah, man, very happy to be a part of this movement and this reasoning that is about to ensue right now, So give thanks.
Give thanks, give thanks. That's Weedamiah.
Yes, I greetings. Yeah, man, blessed up the Jazz Match Kwasi, Dutty Bookman, Iyah Gift, all the listeners. Yeah, I am a for Weedamiah, dope poet, uh, teacher at the African Culture School, also one of the founders of the African Culture School, and yeah, recently festival promoter. I like the hat the how it feel, you know. So yeah, we are going to wear it for a while and see what we can manifest in our earth. But yeah, it's a joy to be a part of the Association of Rastafari Creatives. Because we can always link a one and pick them brain for all these new ventures that we are doing, you know. So yeah,
Yeah.
and they don't know the virtual summer camp is a joy to be a part of.
Give thanks, give thanks. And we have a few festival promoters who are ARC members, so make sure they are tapping. I give introduction.
Blessed love, my family. Greetings I bring you in that divine name of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I, and Her Majesty Empress Menen. Yeah, my name is Iyah Gift. I'm the founder of Iyah Gift Entertainment. You can check out my music at Iyah Gift Music on YouTube. And also the founder of Hip Hop One Drop, reggae hip hop event that we keep here monthly in Jamaica. And also currently working with Association of Rastafari Creatives with the Agricultural Committee. Yes, food sovereignty. We said we definitely want to have a control over what we eat. So give thanks for the opportunity, to be working here with the eyes them, working in the summer camp with the youths them. It's a joy. Blessed love, Rastafari.
Yes, yes. Well, as the convener of ARC, one of the greatest moments that I've had on this journey was just seeing the notification about the camp. So I really don't know how it came about. What was the early genesis? All of these things were talked about in the early days when we had, the founding members were all active and we spoke about them. But in terms of this camp, just give us a history and just feel free. I don't know who wants to jump in, but just talk to us about the genesis. What is the camp, the summer camp, and what is it all about?
Who want to take it?
I'll go through Weedamiah as one of the founding fathers.
All right. Well, Mama Isla Linka, I asked Guy if I would be willing to take part in a summer camp for the youths, and she knows me I go say yes, cause she knows from she say youths, yo. I am going to say yes, So yeah. And then we started meeting on Tuesdays. I know she linked Dutty Bookman, Sister Olivia, Iyah Gift, asked them the same. And each one of us submitted the subjects that we wanted to deliver. And then we spent a few weeks on Tuesdays just reasoning about structure, format, etc., etc., etc. With Queen, Mama Moses was also involved. And somebody from the Amy Jakes Garment Center. Majiba Shea.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Powerful, powerful. So, Bookman, what was that call like? What was that first call like?
Well, the first call, I just remember, Mama Iyah give me a call and she just mentioned, this thing is happening, and it seemed very serious, very intentional. And I just, thought to myself that, if she reach out to me and she have a clear vision, or she articulated a clear vision, I don't know if the vision is solely hers, but she articulated a clear vision and it have to do with the upliftment of the youths, then I just had to do anything in my power to contribute, and yeah, it's been actually a really challenging time now in terms of time management for me, but I just had to add this other thing on my plate because of what it was, and who was doing the asking as well, because I know that, you know, from Mama Iyah speak up and ask to do something, then I know everybody else who is involved is some serious people, you know. So
True song.
it was just as Weedamiah said, just have to say yes, you know. She know already.
Okay. And Iyah Gift, what was that call like from Mama Iyah?
Yes, my brother, a very serious call, you know, because I immediately started thinking about the school that we used to have in DC with the youth them, you
Yes.
know, and how serious Mama Iyah really take the education of the youth them, you know. So definitely had to say yes. And then I started really going in on my meditation to see what I could bring forward, you know. And Majesty started showing me, you know, I'm the Minister of Education. And how serious him take education of his family. So I started doing my research of seeing, you know, how to come across the children. And, you know, I'm teaching them musical creativity. I decided to call the class Sound is Power.
Okay.
You know, to put it in a Rastafari perspective from the term word sound is power. And also I look to Marcus Garvey as another ancestor for guidance in this program as is happening around his Earth Strong, and to see how I could guide the youth them. And also I look to my elders like Bongo Watu and Sam Brown, those elders who educated I and I about the faith when we were just learning about it, what they passed on to I and what they would like for I to pass on to the youth.
I have a serious groundation here in Washington, D.C. You know, when I first met Bongo Watto, it was because of this brethren, Iyah Gift, you know, who was taking care of the elder, going to sit up with the elder and them things that so, you know what I mean? The history is deep. Before we go into, you know, the need for the camp, what just give some more enlightenment. As for battlefield tested brethren, let us just take some time and give thanks for Sister Iyah, you know, the strength of Mama Omega. Yes, let us, yeah, man, make we just take some time and celebrate, you know what I mean, the wonderful input of our sister, you know, because as brethren, I think we have to take time sometime and just celebrate woman. You know, all of us have benefited, you know, from Black woman, Rastafari woman in our lives. So I want to just, you know, Sister Iyah couldn't be with us today. She is actually a new grandmother, you know what I mean, dealing with family and those precious moments. So she wasn't able to join us this evening, but I want to, you know, for the historical record, you can hear from each of the brethren, you know, Sister Iyah really was spearheading this initiative. And, you know, we're going to hear about the success because it's actually in process right now as we speak. And this is the first. And, you know, it just occurred to I that this is history that is being made. This is the first probably virtual global Rastafari summer camp. You know what I mean? So this is actually, we're living and seeing something going into the history books. Rastafari youths from across the world can see other Rastafari youths, and we can start building that network for the future. Before we get into what the item are doing individually, why is a summer camp of this nature important? Let's talk about Rastafari education generally. Anyone feel free, you know?
Yes, I give thanks. It's absolutely key in a them time, yeah, that we express the things about our liberty, because over time, you know, when I was going into the liberty as a one, things that I was doing wasn't accepted and seen totally as, you know, folly or even foolish. But now we're seeing the same things that we were recommending being recommended by even doctors. So the liberty of Rastafari should be taught to the youth them at the early stage. And what I'm observing in the camp is, since not a lot of the youth them are already of the faith or within the family, they are aware of certain of these things. So we're really just reinforcing.
Okay. Powerful, powerful. Ras Weedamiah, do I have a background or a foundation in education, the African Culture School, taking children to Africa? I know that I know the importance of Pan-African education generally, but speak to us about Rastafari specific education. Why is that important for the youths?
Well, we get our identity from culture, and as a culturologist, I believe that if we want Rastafari children to hold on to the faith, we have to reinforce the culture in them from a very early age, and not just the spiritual aspects of the culture, but 360 degrees of the culture. Because when we just focus on one aspect, then we make it feel like a church thing. But we want them to know that it is not really a religion, it is an everyday way of life, just like how you'll have the Zulu man or the Igbo man or the Ashanti or the Iwe. I is Rastafari, and that is 360 degrees. It's in the way I walk, the way I talk, the way I eat, the way it's in everything. So we want them to get that groundation, because growing up in Babylon, and a lot of our children have been resigned to the white supremacist education system. They get very little of their culture and so much distractions to try and take them away from themselves, that they need that constant reinforcement of their culture to counteract all these other cultures that are being imposed on the children, even through social media, school, etc.
Yes, give thanks, give thanks. It's very powerful. And we're going to talk a little bit more about the I specific work, because I have a very deep background in education. Dutty, the I is an author, and the I has chosen to document, our narrative, famously, not waiting till foreign correspondents coming in and defining what was happening in Kingston with the reggae revival. The I put pen to paper. How is it important in terms of the I doing the art of storytelling, controlling the narrative, or having a clear narrative, in terms of raising the next generation?
Yeah, definitely. Expression is very important, and the ability to express yourself effectively is supremely valuable. I mean, that is precisely why everyone come to His Majesty and stay with His Majesty because of the way He expressed Himself. So it's like we need to ensure that our children have that ability that they can use to express whatever it is that they have come to experience and learn and share with the world. So yeah, that's pretty much what I feel. We need to be able to express. And so, I was thinking too when, Ras Iyah said sound is power. If I was more involved in the planning, I would probably suggest, my thing we call word is power.
Wow.
Word sound is power. So,
But guess what? This is just year one. So this thing is
yeah,
going
so
to go
it
from
will
strength to
develop.
strength. Yes,
Yeah,
this is
yeah,
going
it
to
will
grow.
develop.
When we're talking about curriculum creation, there have been reasonings. I know Sister and them have curriculums, but this is what we want to use the Association of Rastafari. We had an education committee, and trust me, the sounds I've been getting since the camp come out is like it creating a reinvigoration among the membership. So I have to salute the item, warriors. This when we talk about battlefield and Rastafari, we're not talking about pick up gun and go out there go shoot people family. I just want the people to know. The battlefield for Rastafari is the day-to-day struggle to maintain the integrity in a world that doesn't value integrity, and in a world that is pushing shortcuts, in a world that is pushing scamming, getting the bag at all costs, a world that has removed shame from the people. People don't have no shame anymore. You know what I mean? How do you maintain an ancient lifestyle? And how do we, reach our youths who are online? Because this is the different reality. And all of these are fathers. These are black men. These are all fathers. All of them have youth. So I want, just talk about the struggle, because it's a virtual camp. Meaning that we're using the same medium that has our youths them addicted and trapped. We're fighting on a digital battlefield. Talk to us about the realities of raising youths in a digital era.
Yes.
Yeah, but
Go ahead, Dutty.
nah, man, I started off first. You can go on through, man.
Yeah, man, it's a serious thing, my brother. My little princess, she's 5 years old. So I'm looking forward to next year when she's going to be a part of this summer camp. And yes, absolutely, she is in love with her tablet. Whenever indoors and, she have it in her hand, sometimes she hold it until battery done completely. Daddy, battery done, So, but, we're in Jamaica. She loves to go outside. We move, so it's not like a problem, right? But however, it's a thing where I'm observing and I'm saying, yes, I definitely would love to have more content online, because I do try to shelve through what she's watching, and say, okay, no, let's not watch that, let's watch this one. But I don't have my own content, or I do have some of my own content, but I would like to have more of our own content from the Rastafari community, especially education-wise, that I could share with her. With that.
That's the purpose of the Lion Voice Network. We're going to get into animation. We want to get into all of that because that's where the battle is being fought right now for the hearts and minds of the next generation, is online. Bookman, the I is a father, you know what I mean? Talk to us about raising youths in this digital age.
Yeah, man, it's definitely been challenging. That job don't come without some serious challenges because the youths are susceptible, to all the information that is coming at them, and you don't know how, each individual is different as well. So you don't know how that person's brain, let alone children, but just person in general, how their brain processes the information coming in, and what things stick and what things them incorporate into them life, So definitely, I feel like I've had many challenges trying to just keep these youths to understand and remember, like, who we are and where we come from and what we're here, our purpose and life and those kind of things, And I find that for me personally, it's like I try not to push too hard because I've seen many examples of fathers that push very hard, and then the youths them grow up now and resent everything that was taught by the father, So
all of us the same
I like them to live their childhood, and I remember I have compassion and just understanding and empathy for them because if you look at who I was as a child and my youth them age, there is no indication anywhere that I would have become a Rastafari. None. You get me? So everybody, if it's their part, you will come to it in the time that you will come to it. So I just use my strategy is to just use key moments. Like when something really happen and it affect and it align with a Rastafari discussion, but just jump in right there, so now just all that reasoning. Yes. And then remember that because I don't do it so often, Yes, remember it. Yes. And then we come back 2 weeks later and say, yo, remember when you tell me that about, blah, blah, blah. And I mean, I say, yes, good. Yes. And to me, that is my little strategy, But I feel like this summer camp is really brilliant because, and I wish I had, again, a lot of time management things are happening. I'm going through great transitions in life right now, but definitely like all next year, my youth them are go sit in, and definitely be a part of it, and I will get to sit in with the youth them properly, if the conditions align and I get to be one of the teachers again, and because they are more susceptible to learning when they see their peer group in the same situation as them.
Exactly.
So to be able to connect now, and it depends on the screen, so them love connect with them other friends on the screen.
They're already connecting online with other
right
youth.
So to them it's going to be like, oh, we just are going to make some new friend, but then them are going to get the teachings, so
And I think by next year it's going to be hundreds of youths, trust me, and that's why we're doing this episode, to raise awareness with the global family that this is happening. Because a lot of us have youths that are isolated. They're the only Rastafari youth in their school, in their collective, in their peer group. My youths go to a Pan-African school, but they're the only Rastafari youths them there. And my youths, I'm not even gonna say they're too claim Rastafari, them just youths, them parents trod a certain way, or them father trod a certain way, and them just, them know certain things. But as the I say, I don't try force, because when youths naturally rebel. So if you really try to impose, your will on the youths, then you're really pushing them into, potentially extreme behavior, because they feel they miss out, they this, they that. So we kind of try not to be as strict. But I love this reasoning, because you don't hear black man talking about fatherhood in this way. Weedamiah, as a father of your youths, are getting a little bit older now.
Veteran. Salute.
Yeah, but experience more than probably all of I and I. Give us some of the wise mind,
I have 7 youths. The first 6 range in ages from, we'll just give them age at the end of this year, because so 19 to 24, and then I have a 7-year-old in Jamaica. And just, it's 5 boys, 2 girls. No, 5 girls, 2 boys, sorry. And especially with the older ones, I have learned that if you make it appealing to them, it's like you give them syrup if you drink, As youth, my mother would put like some sweet milk in the syrup, and it would make the syrup taste good, it just make it taste a little bit better. But then she would always bake something. Only those who can finish them syrup will get bakings later. So it's kind of so I give them Rastafari,
Yeah.
I just kind of sweeten it for them and just make it in such a way where that they have no choice but to claim it. Because even when they want to say them not Rastaman, it's like, okay, the food that you eat is like everything about you. So it's not just one aspect. So it's like, okay, you may not understand this fully, but you get this part of it.
Yes.
And I do let them understand that it's a growing process, And like Dutty said, where they are at their age, at 18 years old, I was as far from Rastafari as Earth is from the sun. But by 25, is like even elders asking me what I think about this, So I know, say, your journey is your journey, and we all get there through our own way, So it's just to make sure that they understand the path that they are on. And I know that in time they will get the fullness, because their rejection of Babylon is what is the most encouraging thing. Like just even hearing them reason with their friends, you know, they're always pointing out the ways how the system or Babylon is trying to oppress the people, or you know. So they do have that, what you would say, you know, Rastafari grew out of a resistance to colonialism and neo-colonialism. So they do have that resistance spirit in them, you know. And yeah, we love that. So we just go and nurture that, because we know say once you continue to fight against all these things, you will end up where I am. So that's how I got here.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Really. Yes, and I think as fathers, you know, being that stability and emphasizing the love, because people naturally go where the love is, you know. So when your youths them grow up in a secure and loving environment, and they know that that is there and thing, and they see the progression too, you know, because they must see I and I strive and see I and I achieve as well. You know, it's natural as all of the items say. At 18, I was far from Rastafari. I rushed Iyah give no I from a ballad stage at Howard University. You know, GQ out and you know trying to follow the Gallus trajectory. You know what I mean? 95, you know them man they from, you know. So you know what I mean? But again, Rastafari is a calling, and that is sometimes it creates some anxiety in some of the parents, because you can't bring your youth them to Rastafari. It really is their own. It's not one of them things there where you can, you know, like a Christian, you just show up Christmas and Easter and you're good. You know what I mean? Rastafari is a choice, it's a covenant. You know what I mean? Worse if you have on your locks, because even enough of the youths that grew up in Farai, you know, we see once they leave the house, they trim, you know, and then, you know, probably some of them come back down the line, but they had to go through their own journey, you know what I mean? A lot of them cut their locks, you know, but the other part of that is that we don't have the institutions that are fostering that pride, that they don't even have to feel like they have to leave their ecosystem. You know, the Amish youth them, you know what I mean? They don't feel like, you know, maybe a couple of them leave, but most of them stay within the Amish community. You know what I
But
mean?
my lord, the Amish do a thing that we in the Rastafari community don't really do. Like they give them like a year or two to go out and experience the world, you know.
Okay.
And that is what bring most of them back to the world, you know, because after growing up in the Amish community and you feel like, okay, now I'm missing out on something. And then they let you out and experience it, then you start longing for the simplicity of just the culture you grew up in and that security, you know. As Rastafari, I think a lot of us as fathers, we want the youth them to do this and to be this way, but if we allow them to experience the world, then they will find out what we found out about the world and reject it just like we did. So we have to give them that opportunity to get to know the world and understand why we chose to say Rastafari.
Right.
And one day, once they understand that, they all come forward, my lord.
And it's fate, because, you know, the world is so evilous that you don't even want your youth to have to go out there. And, you know, that is why I work so hard to try to build institutions, so that, you know, yes, some of them go, but, you know, you probably have a lot of Amish that say, yeah, man, we're good, you know, we see Babylon out there, we just go stay and work the farm, you know. So we should have that ability for our youth to work within our Rastafari ecosystem, you know, if they so choose. You know, those who want to go out and experience. The Amish can do that because they have a structure for you to return to, that they can plug you into, you know what I mean? So I think that's what we're lacking. And this camp, you know, again,
I think that's what ARC is working on, though. That's one of the reasons why I joined, because when I joined up, we were talking about food security, land security, water security, educating our children, taking care of our elders. pretty much fulfilling the entire creed of Rastafari, you know.
That is it. And this camp, I was going to say, is an example now of an institution that is being formed that can help, because from this virtual camp now we can evolve it into regional camps where youths them can meet each other in person, face to face, and we have counselors and field trips and all of these things. Because now, as I said, trust me, someone in the comment already asked how them can enroll their child in the camp. You know what I mean?
Well, it's not too late because all
Yeah,
the classes are recorded.
okay.
Yeah, so they can go to rastafaricreatives.com and still sign up. They will get they will see the other classes from Monday, Tuesday, and even today, and then they could sit in tomorrow if they sign up tonight. They could actually just come in and join classes tomorrow. So it's still not too late to be a part.
Yes,
and it's pay what you can.
Yeah, talk about that the decision. The item are all very busy people. The item are all worth hundreds of dollars per hour. You know what I mean, in terms of your professions. Why was that decision made to just make it that the parents can pay whatever and not even a smaller flat fee? Why was that decision made?
Just knowing that, especially in 2024, it rough on people economically. Money should not be a barrier for you to experience Rastafari or sip from Rastafari table. I have never experienced that in my life. Like when I go on Rasta, it's always just free love. So I felt that it was within the tradition of Rastafari to just make it where on an honor system where if you can afford to pay, you do, and if you can't afford to pay, then you can still sip up.
Give thanks. Powerful, powerful. All right, so let's talk about the curriculum. I want the item. We'll start with the Dutty. Just explain what you're teaching, your segment, what it's all about, why you chose that segment, for the youth, and what you're hoping to achieve in terms of outcome from that segment.
Yeah, well, what I chose to do was pretty much a writing workshop. So something that engages the youth them to actually try out writing, and basically I basically charge them with the task of creating a short story. I was thinking at first to put a word limit on it, but I just didn't want to over challenge anybody unexpectedly. I wanted them to just feel free and just enjoy the process. So basically what I speak about in the mine is a pre-recorded. I know I think Ras Weedamiah and Ras Iyah give both do live instruction, but mine was a pre-recorded thing. And I just wanted to keep it really short and simple so that they could understand what is the anatomy of a short story. What are the things that you should be thinking about when you want to express a narrative to somebody? Some reader somewhere is going to sit down with your story. So we go through the plot and the 5 points of the plot. You start with an introduction, you go through the rising action where you build the tension, you get to a climax, then you have the falling action where the resolutions start to take place, and then you have a conclusion, and also the elements like how to introduce, or just a basic idea of how to introduce a character when you start out a story, and make sure people understand the setting. Where does your story take place? And then also the laughter element of the theme, like what's the theme of the story, so that you can make sure you keep that theme throughout the story. So basically that is it. I try to keep it really simple, and then ask them to create short stories. And already I started to see some, Mama Iyah started to send me some assignments that were completed, and I can see the youth them have their own brilliant ideas. So By Friday, we're going to be looking at some complete short stories, and Jawil and I will be able to sit in with them tomorrow, which is Thursday, and Friday as well. So I'm looking forward to meeting the youths them finally and seeing what their thoughts are as it regards to writing and short story, the art of storytelling.
Powerful, powerful. And I just want to also know that we was up to have Sister Olivia Wilmot. It seems that there are some technical difficulties. We've been trying to reach her to bring her in.
I just sent her the
Okay. So hopefully we'll hear from her. Iyah, GIF, talk to us about the eye segment and what the eyes is bringing forth to the youth then.
Yes, my brother, like we said, sound is power. And we have to show them from the anciency with the drum. Heartbeat, Yeah, man, brought it right back forward to the 1-2, the do good. Right there, so we start the sound is power vibration. I also call it the way of the harper, and inspired that part that come from the inspiration what the elders they give me with their love for the Psalms. How would I open every prayer, every chanting session, with 7 Psalms. And I learned a lot from those ways, even inspire me in my poetry and my songwriting. So the first foundation I wanted to give the youth them was straight up from the drums then. And not just Naya being the, but that was absolutely the foundation. No, the drums them and the shaker, the bass, the funde, the kete, understand how they all work together. And also, I showed them some of the maroon style of drumming that we learned from our Coromantee brethren them and our Ashanti brethren them up in the hills. How to send some of those ancient signals across to the ancestry. And then I brought it right forward to, like I was saying, the Psalms of King David, how he put his poetry across, in that word sound. And I also really focused on the natural elements of Rastafari and how, our body is our temple. And within sound is power, how we hear through the ear, vibration picked up the frequency in the eardrum, and just getting the youth them aware of their tempo. The next day we started working on their vocals, their vocal cord, singing the scales, and we have some great instrumentalists in the class already. And shout out to Mama Iyah for the wonderful portal online, because I gave them some homework to do like a 1-minute video of them like performing some of their stuff. And I got to watch one of the videos today. 2 of the Rasta youths them working together. One youth that played the funde, and the sister that played the recorder, and they played By the Rivers of Babylon.
Nice.
Touchable, my brother. And today we did some poetry in the class, and then I showed them how they could actually sing their poems. So they did poetry and songwriting. And tomorrow we're looking at event planning, because that's one thing that, Ras Tafari, the Jamaica Music Conference, I think it's something that the youth them have the ability to do, even starting with just a birthday party and then scaling up from there. Give thanks.
Powerful. And remember that Ras Tafari was homeschooled. We have to shout out Dr. Vitalien from Guadeloupe, Martinique, Abba Samuel, and many others that were critical to the education of a young Ras Tafari, learning the Asian Ge'ez, the Amharic, French, Latin, and other languages as a youth, you know what I mean? So our youth them and our education system has to be multifaceted, dynamic, and prepare our youths to be leaders in this Armageddon. Ras Weedamiah, talk to us about what the eye is teaching and the vibration.
Teaching Garvey's 7 Pan-African principles. This being Marcus Garvey Earth Strong Week. His birthday is this Saturday. when Mama Iyah told me the week she was keeping it, I was like, yeah, have to teach them Garvey, because Marcus Garvey is one of those people I think that every black child should be familiar with and have an intimate knowledge of, because I think his principles, his 7 principles, are things that can really put them on a productive and upful path in life, It's African identity, African pride, African self-reliance, African economy, African unity, African superstate, and African deity, which His Majesty fall under as Rastafari. Garvey was one of those who also pointed us to Ethiopia and the coronation of His Majesty, and many of us as Rastafari came to Rastafari through Marcus Garvey, Even Leonard Howell and the Howellites, they were originally Garveyites.
Yes.
So, yeah, and the class has been going wonderful. And I had the opportunity today to sit in and listen to Brother Iyah give class and listen to the youth them just applying melodies even to their poetry, I mean, I say, yo, Iyah give me need some of them melody there for my poetry, like, yeah. So even as parents or as adults, you can sit in the class and learn. I've been sitting in Sister Olivia's class, looking forward to Dutty's Art of Storytelling class tomorrow on Friday, and also just sitting and listening to the children. Like, okay, we have youths from Germany across to Mexico.
Wow.
And hearing them interacting in class today, even just between classes when there's no teacher going, and just them interacting by themselves. I'm just there laughing, they're funny, they're intelligent. I feel honored to be called to be a part of this, because yeah, I'm full join it. And this is a very busy week for me, like just like Dutty busy, Iyah busy, but we could not Garnet Silk say, oh no, Dennis Brown said to Garnet Silk, how could I resist this wonderful invitation, That it's something like that where I had to be a part, and I am glad I am a part. I was talking to Mama Iyah today, like we need to set up a portal where the youths them can keep in contact with each other after the camp, because just listening and watching the friendships develop amongst Rasta youths, yeah, man, it was a joy to see.
Powerful.
Yes,
I want to just acknowledge Willow's parents with the 99-cent donation. Big up yourself. We give thanks. This is how we stay independent and non-aligned, is the contributions from the Rastafari family. We have Dr. Blackwood checking in with a 1999 attribution. Big up yourself, Dr. Blackwood. And that is a powerful contribution. We give thanks. Again, this is how we stay independent. Join us in the Patreon, $5, $10, $25 a month. We are building out the Rastafari independent non-aligned media. We want to go animation with it. We want to go blockbuster film. We want to go documentary. There's so much intellectual property within our culture that needs to be developed for our children, for our teenagers, for our youths. I have to just give a shout out to this book here, Haile Selassie Ethiopia, published by Dutty Bookman. So when Dutty
big book.
Dutty.
When Dutty I tell you about the art of storytelling, it's not all right. You see that?
Big book.
You need my copy in Dutty.
when Dutty I tell you about the art of storytelling, Dutty was not just the publisher, he was the editor. Dutty and I go through the manuscript and Dutty said, you have to take out that Ras or what you try to say. I mean, I understand what, and we go through, not one or two time either, you know what I mean? I'm going to have to big up Mama Sasha too, because she also read through and gave her, so it's a teamwork. But Bookman knows what he's talking about, and I'm a writer. So me not just boots up Bookman, him and my brethren and my family, but me tell him say he just mediocre, But
Yeah,
he's excellent family. So to have these skills in our community to be able to reason with our youths, it's a blessing, and that's why I really feel so good, because history is literally being made right here. This is going to change the course of Ras Tafari education, because they didn't wait until they got a grant of $20 million. These teachers are basically donated their time. We have little stipend, we give thanks, but it could never pay them for the sacrifice that they're making, and I want to make that clear. And I want the family to know that we have to support ourselves. No one is coming to save us. I say this on every show that I have right now, family, because I don't know if you're waiting for Rasta Jesus or Superman. You know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah, none of them now come for it. Garnet Silk against the I saw Zion in a vision. It was like a family reunion. That means it's the same family where round and about, you're going to see over there. So I really want to go into some future forecasting. I'm a futurist, African futurist. Where do we see this camp? Start with the Dutty. If money is not an obstacle, what could you see this camp becoming in terms of for Rastafari youth globally?
It's really a revolutionary thing, It's really a revolution in the making right now, And even in that breath, I want to actually properly acknowledge the day. Today is actually the anniversary of Boakaiman, the ceremony that happened in Haiti. At which Dutty Bookman, uttered some words, and Mambo Cecile Fatiman help organize and bring ones there, and even that moment, that ceremony that happened that led to the insurrection that started 1 week later. That moment, that ceremony, that meeting was an educational moment in and of itself, because basically they brought everybody together to impart information, to say, listen, the feeling right now and the consensus is we're done with this brutality that's going on the island, and the next meeting shall be 7 days from now, at which time we're going to burn down everything. And everybody was educated. And so everybody dispersed after that night, and you just had to know that everybody got the information, and we're going to reconvene in 7 days, and so said, so done. So to me, it's like it's in a similar vein. Like, yes, it may be not the hundreds or thousands of students yet, but you always have to have that little ceremony first, and then everybody who dispersed from that will spread the word to the other ones as they go along, and by next time you're going to see the big crew roll through, So I feel like it's a revolutionary moment, and I only expect greatness out of this, again, because of all the ones who are involved. As you say, battlefield tested soldiers. I'm glad to be one of the number. You see me? And just looking forward to where this goes. It's going to be pure greatness.
Give thanks, Dutty Bookman, but I'm tired of seeing so much tough face on my screen. I need some feminine energy in the space. You know what I mean? Too much tough face, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, them are brethren, but sometimes, balance the thing.
Greetings, everyone.
Blessed love and peace.
Greetings.
Royal
Yes,
So,
blessed love, one and
I want
all.
to-
Brother
yes.
Kwasi, thank you so much for this platform.
Give thanks, give thanks. I want to just take the time to introduce. I said that when we started the Association of Rastafari Creatives, I made certain phone calls. This was one of the sisters in them that I called because of her commitment to the creative industry and to Rastafari culture and education. Just introduce thyself, please, for the Lion Pride family.
Yes, it's a joy to know that ARC is continuing to grow, and a real honor, to be a part of this virtual summer camp that we're doing. Like, it's great.
So we've heard from everyone generally how they feel about the camp. Just share, overview of what the initial call you got to join the camp. What has the experience been like for the eye so far?
Oh, just give me a minute. I've been having like some little tech glitchy stuff.
Yes.
I'm gonna stop my camera for a moment and just plug in the try and plug in the internet directly and see if that will help, because you're disappearing sometimes and I'm disappearing sometimes, so I want to make sure ones can hear me. Just give me a moment, please.
Beautiful. And we just put the information for ones who want to register for the camp. I think they're still accepting ones. The camp is in process. Today was the third day of the camp. But there are recordings of all of the sessions now. We're encouraging ones to become members of ARC as well. We're building the institution. Again, right now, family is World War III. Babylon is falling. We're headed toward dark days globally, and we have to come together and strengthen our institutions. We have to invest in self. We have to circulate the Rastafari, the Pan-African dollar within each other. We have to become food sovereign, education sovereign, all of these things if we are going to survive what is coming and what is already unleashed upon the earth. So we're just saying to the family, go to the RastafariCreatives.com. All of the information for the summer camp is there. Get active. If there's anything that the item take away from this platform, the Lion Voice, is please get active. Action. That's why I call myself an actionist, because we need to be taking action right now. All right. So, Sister Olivia, please just give us an overview. What was that initial call to do the camp like, and what has the experience been like thus far for the Iyah, and then we'll go into what you're teaching the youths.
I'm backstage.
Oh, the Iyah is live. We see the Iyah. We see the Iyah. You're on stage. You're live.
Front stage.
We're dealing. I think there's a little delay, so just have patience, family. We are not Russians over here. Tell the item we are Ethiopians. We're not Rush nothing. Last strong Wi-Fi, the guy did try take me down, and we hanged him, and we had a very islandful communication with dreadlocks. We never rushed nothing. So all of these tough face man here, I'm tired of talking to them. I want to talk to the royal queen right now. Then we bring them forward. All right. All right. Can you hear?
Yes, I can.
All right. So just take us through that initial call to camp, and then what your experience has been like thus far.
Well, I mean, Sister Iyah reached out to me, and right away I knew I wanted to be a part of it. And I was asked to do a mindfulness session. So I felt really good about that it was considered in the first place, and that I was called. And I knew that I wanted to interact with these children and see how they respond and all of that. And really and truly, as usual, right? The children have exceeded my expectations. Their children are so intelligent, you know, and really bright. And when they get the opportunity to express themselves, you know, then you really get some insight into what they have going on, you know. And they have been excellent at participating and you know, sharing their thoughts, sharing their feelings and all of this. And I have to big up the parents as well, because you know, for sure, some of what they're saying, you know, even the fact that they have the headspace for it means that their parents are creating an environment and are cultivating a relationship with their children that allows them to, you know, um to be on that level then, you know, because they're not being um suppressed, you know. So that has been a real joy, honestly.
Give thanks. And just give the family some of the eye background and why mindfulness makes sense for the eye, for those who are not familiar. For us who know the eye, you know, that makes all the sense in the world. But this is a
Perfect sense.
audience,
Yes.
you know what I mean? So just explain to the one some of the eye background and why mindfulness aligns with the eye.
Okay, well, I mean, as far as mindfulness goes, you know, I'm a yoga instructor. I became certified in teaching ancient Egyptian yoga in 2014. And prior to that, I had been practicing for a couple years. But prior to that, I had already, you know, begun my formal training in education, especially early childhood education and some adult education as well. But early childhood is really the focus. And so naturally, when I did my certification, I had in mind to be teaching children, you know, and to ensure that I'm reaching out to that particular age group, you know, to really give them the opportunity to tap in, you know, to tap into their greatness, to tap into their greatness. And yeah, they never disappoint. I find that the conventional classroom can be quite limiting and it's really unnatural and it doesn't allow for a lot of time, you know, for children to just be, think, reflect, you know, and to be really conscious of what they're doing. You know, is it kind, right? Why would you say something to your classmate that's unkind? You know, how should your classmate feel? You know, how do you feel when you say that? You know, or why did you say that? You know, and those kind of questions, because in life in general, and obviously it starts from very early because the children are in school and they have a million things to do. We're not really necessarily in the habit of taking a pause in the present moment. And as we were reasoning today, you know, Brother Asafo spoke about power today, you know, African power. And so naturally, the extension where I took it was, you know, your personal power is where power really begins. And if you look at, you know, symbols of leadership um, in Africa, it really all begins with that individual leading themselves. And a big part of being able to do that is being able to be mindful, to be present, to observe what's happening. How do I feel about this? How am I going to respond? You know, or I feel a certain way. Sometimes it feels like something is coming up inside of yourself. I feel a certain way. Instead of just going with it, you know, and maybe taking an action that is not in your best interest or in the best interest of ones that you love, being able to observe it and tap into your eye, right? The first thing that we learned was You have a mind.
Hmm.
You're not your mind. You have one.
Hmm.
So the more skilled that you can be in understanding what it is and its power and how it manifests for you as an individual, because there's only one you, is the more that you're able to, you know, create the kind of life and create the kind of experiences that are really good for you. They make you feel good. You can be proud of them. They help others. You know, they add to your environment. All of this kind of stuff. You know, so it's super important because any kind of nation, institution, organization is comprised of individuals. So we know that there's healing that we have to do on a communal level.
Yes.
And in everything that we're doing now, even though we're focusing on individual, the fact that we're sharing in a safe space makes it communal also, right? So when we each become more present and more able to navigate life, then naturally that adds to the uplift of whichever organization, institution, society, you know, because you are healthier. And so that makes whatever you're a part of healthier too, right? If you just jump straight to the external goals, then you're going to miss a lot of stuff. So you have to have the external goals, yes. But then, you know, what happens now when you end up in a situation where things start to fall apart personally? It could be disastrous for the whole group as well,
Definitely.
you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, the life is not, everything is not linear. Everything is a journey, right? I think there's ups and downs. But if as children, they can start to learn that they have this inner power and they can start to feel good about it and understand that, you know, they are able to identify that which is good. They're able to identify that which is good within themselves. And they're able to utilize that in the best way that they can. They're able to bounce back if they make a mistake by knowing that they're not the mistake that they made. They just made a mistake and they're gonna learn from it and they're gonna do better next time. You know, they're loved. All of these things.
Yes.
Then we give them the tools and we give them a foundation that makes them more secure moving through life. And that personal security is absolutely essential. Absolutely essential, and it's under constant threat in our current society. So we have to take an active step in that direction. I can't say the youths must be like this and the youths must be like that. How? How? They have to actually like learn it, you know, they have to learn it. And if you're not in an environment, which I don't think any of us are, because we're not in an uncontacted tribe,
Yes.
they have that privilege. We're all constantly surrounded by a whole lot of distractions, and everybody I deal with all of them drama and trauma, right?
Yes. Yes.
So we have to teach it specifically. We have to create the space for it.
Crucial. I asked the brethren before that I joined what it's like being a parent in this digital age. You know, with all of these.
War.
1 second. I have to go. Yeah, I have an event on my host at Wednesday night dub sessions.
Okay.
Right.
No problem. Just say final sound. Say your final sound.
Yeah, man, just want to say give thanks everyone. I saw the CEO of the African Culture School, Dr. Black, could make a pledge, one bless her up. And just, yeah, give thanks, Kwasi. Keep up the works. Tell everyone, check out Lion Voice, go into the archives and watch the show them, you know, cause, yeah. And big up the Ras Tafari non-aligned network, Dutty, Bookman, Iyah, Gift, Olivia, Kwasi, family. You don't know how to love, and we'll be in touch.
Perfect.
Hello.
Dutty, me, I look forward to your class tomorrow, yeah?
All right. You know, say a word, man. Blessing.
Yes, sir. Bless.
Give thanks. So, yeah, so I was asking the eye to just talk to us about, raising children, because we're all parents. So everybody kind of gave their testimony of what it's like raising children in this digital age with screens and screen time, and how we balance, um, raising youths in this time, and then also, the balance between imposing, Rastafari on the youth them, and allowing them to just discover who they are. How do we strike that balance so that we don't push them away, but at the same time we're not so loosey goosey that, what I mean, that they just don't have no discipline or no order. Um, Let us know what has that experience been like for the eye, first with the electronics and then just that balance.
Well, give thanks. I mean, with the electronics, it's definitely a challenge, a real challenge, because, you know, it is designed to kind of like, hijack the brain in a kind of sense, and the same thing that makes you want to be among people, and be a social being, but diverting it all to being on this little screen, with this unnatural light shining in your eyes all the time, So telling the children all manner of things, and it's been a real challenge for me, and especially because my instinct is simply to remove it, right? And I do that a lot, but I can't do it as much as I want to, because the schools that they attend require it.
Yes.
Require it. So essentially, every term I have to be figuring out, how am I gonna deal with this better next time? Like, how can I'm still working out how to actually do that, So I have a next idea, next plan now for the coming school year that I hope will work well, But I try and tell them all the time, like, what this thing is and what's happening and why they can't constantly have it,
The love is with that.
but they don't really understand it on that level. They don't.
They're addicted. Let us be real with each other. They are addicted. As you said, it's releasing dopamine in their young minds. They're getting
Right.
that rush. And as you say, right now, their whole friend group, my son will play video games. There's about 5 of them, and they're playing video games, and them all in the same game. I run up and down, virtually
Yeah.
with them friends, and they talking and laughing and big joke. And as you say, and this is the part that parents don't talk about, because there's a temptation, because when they're on the machine, you know where they are, they're not causing any problems, so you free up to do your work. So a lot of us sometimes will just ease that, because it keeps them very
Engaged.
yeah, it keeps them engaged, so you can
Yeah.
take care of things. And when they're not on that, especially for us that have multiple children, sometimes it's war and chaos in the place kind of what
But
I mean?
but it is a reality, right?
Yes, yes.
Because in this life, it's not like, okay, when I'm working on the computer, for example, I can't ask my child to come and help me with this. If I'm doing something that's hands-on, if I'm cooking or if I'm gardening or something, then I can be like, come and do this with me.
Yes.
But if I'm working, on the computer, then that becomes a much more complex task,
Yes.
So it is a challenge, and I obviously there's a place for technology, because that's the world that we're living in. And so
Yes.
for them to not be equipped is kind of putting them at a disadvantage, unless you're just not going to exist in that world at all, which is a choice. right? Which is a choice, which I think is a great choice. If we can actually do it and do it in a healthy way with community, then awesome. You know what I mean? But outside of that, no, it's just more about us having to. It's new for everyone, and I think it's important for parents to kind of remember that too, because sometimes I stress myself out about it. But
Yes,
the truth of the matter is, it is new for everyone.
everyone in the planet.
Everyone. So even us as adults, have to be mindful. How long have I been scrolling?
That
Am
is
I
the
doing
judgment.
anything on this? You know what I mean? Like, am
That is the
I?
judgment because they're following us a lot of time.
That is it too. Like
They,
when your kids come to talk to you, how often are you looking at a screen when they come?
Right.
You
uh,
know? And the
Right.
same way that it affects children's moods, make them more irritable when they come off of it and stuff like that. We have to remember we're human beings too.
Hmm.
So these devices also kind of, make us more tense than we're aware of as well. So we all kind of have to learn how best to manage it. I try and steer them in the direction of at least doing something productive or consuming something productive. I
yes,
am not always successful in
yes.
the same, to be honest. I'm like, what? Like this business where you watch people playing games. To me, it's very weird. It's very strange. You can watch that for hours.
Yeah, yeah,
See
yeah.
people that play a game and whatever, but it's like if it was happening in real life, it bad and not so bad. But no, that is completely digital. As I said, the device itself, the light.
Light.
Yeah,
So,
man.
in terms of future forecasting, because I think this is the role of Rastafari education now is knowing this, how do we balance that with nature and teaching them about things that are going to balance this over reliance on screens and screen addiction. How do we build this into a curriculum? Obviously the camp is virtual, so it's on the screen, but
Yeah.
you can start to implant some ideas, and I think
Mhm.
the mindfulness that you're doing is part of that. That is already started. But where do you see this camp going or and evolving? As an educator yourself, what if money is not a obstacle, where do you see or where would I like to see this camp evolve? How would I like to see it evolve?
Well, I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, I did have my questions about doing, an online camp and ensuring that nothing was longer than it really had to be,
Yes.
you know. Um, but clearly, in a perfect world, obviously children need interaction with nature. So as much as, but they have to have access to it. They have to have access to it. So as much as we can get the children into green spaces, right, and get them to be able to connect, the thing is that you have to have a physical adult there.
Yes.
So with the digital model, people can be everywhere, right? All over the place. So meaning all over the world, right? So it becomes a little bit more complex in terms of how do you get the children outside, because now that means that first of all, they have to actually live somewhere with an outside, with a nature outside, right? Because a lot of people live in urban centers, so you have to know where to find this. But
Yes.
then also now they're gonna need an older person. So the camp would now really require a lot more participation from um, parents, elders, older siblings to be able to commit to taking the children outside, right, for X amount of time.
Hmm.
If it's a case, as I say, where the instructors are actually online,
Yes.
and you could give activities and so on, but also not give any, because the children just need to be. They just need to be in nature. They just need time to just be in nature and
Hmm.
deprogram their own minds and receive the therapy of the earth, which is obviously more powerful than what any other one can bring. We can just kind of help to open them up to it, and make them realize that you know they can actually access a part of themselves that can just be open to receiving insights and using their imagination and exploration and stuff like that. They have to have the time, as I said, to do that, which so I think that's what would be required in such a case. Ideally, it would be wonderful to have some models where we're able to carry out a full camp in
Yes.
person, face to face, with kids coming together in person, face to face.
That's what I see is regional evolve into regional camps, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
Jamaica have a camp, maybe Trinidad, you know, the areas that we have youths, and then you still have the virtual camp for the youths that are in areas that without a lot of Rastafari youths. But for the areas that have large populations of Rastafari youth, you would have the face-to-face in-person camps taking place. One of the beautiful things that I've heard about the camp is the networking with youth from all over the world.
Yeah.
Talk about the Iyah GIF are live in the sessions. Talk about where are some of the youths from that are attending the class, and about how many youths have been attending each of the item class.
Yes, I. Well, I had about 15 youths today, and yes, one of the youths them is nearby Mexico. We have some youths in the Caribbean, a lot of youths in America, but in different states, and it seems we even have a youth from Europe. So it's very very far spread out. And absolutely what you're saying, Sister Olivia, I connect with that. Today we did some yoga, the class, because I've been telling them the body is the temple, so you hear the sound through your ear, the vocal, but all of it has to function as one element, so I definitely want to take them out in the creation same way, or have a space where they can go out in the creation. Um, we spoke about health today, water. Want to speak about fresh water spaces, go to the river, go to the spring, the original Rastafari way of it, food and nutrition. Talk about processed, non-processed foods. You want to go pick a fruit actually off of the tree, because even one of you was giving me an example. So yeah, you have a fruit that with a label saying it's non-processed. I was like, yo, have a label on it. So wrong. So definitely want to get forward to that real rootical root of the root.
Give time. And how many children are in the I class today, Olivia?
Yeah, same. Mm-hmm.
Same. Okay.
So the children have been consistent.
Okay, give thanks.
They have been consistent since Monday, to today, and with each day that passes, they really communicate with each other a lot more. So even like today, like a little break between class, they're not even necessarily getting up. They might just run go for something and come back to the computer, and they're calling each other by name. They're learning who these people are, these other kids on the other side of this cable.
Yes.
So that's really beautiful to see them building friendships.
And I think that's the powerful part, is that we're building that network, because children are the future. If we want to build future business connections, other communities do this, where they bring their youths them together and you build lifelong friendships. You have a brethren over, so you have a brethren over, so you travel, that you've known. That can only be an advantage, to our children. My children are not with I'm trying to sort them out. So hopefully tomorrow they will be participating. But yeah, I think this is a great strength, and I want to let ones know that even if you cannot put your youths in this year, you can give a financial contribution. Go to the Rastafari Creatives .com, and all of the information for the camp is there, where you can put in a free will attribution. Ideally, we want to be able to pay fully our counselors. They're doing it out of the love of their heart. We give a small stipend, but we want to evolve this into a fully staffed program. This is very important for our children, our future. I cannot say it enough. No one is coming to save us. We really have to get serious in terms of circling the wagon around our youths and what's precious, because the mainstream has become demonic. It's not even bad again. You know what I mean? It's literally demonic. They're teaching things to the youth that will harm them, lifestyles that will literally harm them, harlotry, scamming, thieving. These kind of things are being normalized, lied. You know what I mean? These things are normalized in the mainstream as acceptable behavior. So if we just leave it to popular culture to socialize our youths, we have failed. So I'm really so elated by this camp and what it represents in terms of a strike out there, to say
Yeah.
we're not going to wait. We might not have everything fully set. We might not have had a full grant, but you know what? It's our youths. We're going to come together and we're going to do something, and by starting to do something, it's going to spur so much. I was just saying, Sister Olivia, that I've been getting songs from ARC members, and this is really reinvigorating the membership, just even seeing something so powerful happening for the youth them. So I really want to just give the item flowers, Dutty, talk about, in terms of some other things that you think could be added next year in the next staging of the camp. Let's just do a little bit of brainstorming. I want to big up everyone who's watching live in the chat. If you have any questions for our guests, please put them in the chat. We have ones tuning in from all over. I see Sister Iyah in the chat. Hold on there, Sister Iyah. We never know, say you're there about. Blessings, family. Give thanks for the great work. Inspired even more. Dr. Blackwood said, teach. Blessing. Rastaman say, Holy Emmanuel Selassie, bless up yourself. Ras Weedamiah say, blessing pan, blessing one and all. Rastaman say, need to interview the Empress. I've already lined that up with Sister Olivia. Don't try tell me what to do. Don't tell Sister Olivia say her space is reserved on the Lion Voice. She is also lead vocalist for Earth and the Fullness. So please go on YouTube, put in Earth and the Fullness if you want to hear some angelic sounds, and stream the music. So we're going to try to time it with, she's working on some new music. We're going to time it so the item can get the full experience. And when she come on to you, I'll go spend some money with her too. Just go look on her and say, hey, we want to circulate the Rastafari $1. Rastaman said, that's great. Can be in the park. Yes. The park is crucial. Yes, big up yourself, Bingy Carlton. Says, greetings, I love it. Give thanks for life. It is a joy for I to tune to the reasoning, heart of love. To the Iron panelists, big up my brethren, Dutty Bookman, Iyah Gift, and family, Rastafari, I love. Big up yourself, Bingy Carlton.
Blessing, Bingy Carlton. Blessing.
Yes. And he big up the Empress, give thanks for the works. And then we have one of our royal elders, greeting Dutty Bookman. How can I get a copy of the content for the session for the 12th and 13th rewriting? My granddaughter is coming tomorrow. Speak to, if anyone is familiar, how ones can get access to the sessions that have already gone forward.
What, to be honest, I think probably Sister Iyah would be the best person to answer that, because she has been dealing with all of the administration and moderating as well.
Okay.
So I would suggest, to to email Rastafari Creatives or to enter into the portal actually, and ask a question there so that then she can, tap in and send anything that might be possible to send. Dutty, your classes are posted in the portal?
To my knowledge, yes. And I heard also Ras Weedamiah was mentioning it earlier too, that, all the live instructions are recorded and there. And as far as I know, the pre-recorded of my session, my workshop is also there as well. So tomorrow and Friday, I'll actually be jumping in live to actually reason with the youth them. I'm really looking forward to that because I don't get the joy that you and Iyah give and Weedamiah get, which is to see the youth them in action. So I'm looking forward to doing that. I'm going to bring in my two youth them sit down beside me here waiting on me to come cook some dinner. So
it's so sit up. Yes.
Yeah, man. but yeah, I think that again it's just a really great initiative that was taken, and I'm fully honored to be a part of it, and looking forward to. I don't know what next year holds. I only know that we're not a set of people who believe in remaining stagnant. So the thing going to grow to something new. We're going to incorporate best practices as we learn them. We're going to learn from our mistakes, and we're going to do it with full intention, good intention for the youths them to grow and flourish as individuals, individual human beings upon the earth, So definitely I'm just overjoyed at the whole vibration right now, and give thanks to be among the item,
Give thanks. So and it's very important for ones to know that ARC has an entire ecosystem. So once you register, there's a portal that you have access to where you can communicate with the instructors and with the admin. So you
and find the recording
and find the recording. So once you register online, RastafariCreative.com, you should get an welcome email with links that allows you to access all of the resources. So we're gonna just get ready to seal up any final sound from. We're gonna give all of our panelists a chance to give a final sound, and these are also creatives. And you cannot come on Lion Voice and you don't tell people how to support your creative work. We don't allow that. Lion Pride, the item know already. Spend some money with my guests them. Don't make my guests come and don't get. I'm big up House of Seba, Ras Jabali Carlisle from House of Seba and Trelawney. He was doing a tour. And after the tour was sealed up, he went to the tour guide, and the tour guide said, I saw the Iron Lion Voice and some research and, come and spend some money. So big up that tour guide, Lion Pride. That is what we want here, family. I don't want them just look upon the people, them hear the great works they're doing, and then you go at Starbucks and Starbucks go get your money. Are you gonna rate and they get your money? Yes, they can get your money, but some of the money has to be spent with your fellow creatives, with your fellow Rastafari, with your fellow Pan-African. This is an economic war, and if we don't spend among ourselves, we will never rise from our current situation. So everyone just say a final sound. And then let the Lion Pride, because hundreds of people will watch this on the replay. Let the people know how they can support your creative work. Lion Pride, don't disappoint I please. All right. Dr. Bookman, you can lead off.
Yes, well, yeah, I guess I give my final sounds already regarding the camp, but also, like you say, I have to do a little shameless plugging, I guess. So, you can follow me. I'm on Instagram at Dutty Bookman. My website is bookmanexpress.pub, PUB as in publishing. And yeah, man, we debut, I also select music. So anybody looking for a selector who, have a particular love for roots and dub and, also don't shy away from some positive dancehall and hip hop and things like that. I'm the person to call, so you can link me forward. Same way, Instagram, send me a message and we can do some work, Give thanks.
Definitely. We're looking for the next mixtape, Dutty. The Black Liberation mixtape, shell down the place, gone
Yeah,
over
that was a special one. Yes.
10,000 views on SoundCloud and climbing, continue. Every time I look, it's gone up. We need some more. And it's fully loaded with the Chasmatch Kwasi dub plates too. So you don't know, say, the bias.
The most. Nobody know who have more than me. Who have more than me?
It's close. Culture Sound put out a
Sound like somebody have more than me, I have to go fix that.
yeah. Culture Sound put out a mixtape, so I don't know how it look, but we can fix that. Easy.
Yeah, man, we have to address that situation.
We can fix that. Sister Eleanor, give thanks. Wonderful. Looking forward to tomorrow as she is a writer, an avid writer, Ras Tafari reign. This is why we do it, Mama Eleanor. So give thanks for the eye, for watching and for investing in our youth, and we're gonna have to interview the eye, Mama Eleanor. So look out for a link. That's one of our legendary elders there who has done such great works. Iyah give us the eye sealing sound, how the eye them can support the eye. This is one of the pioneers of Rastafari hip hop, and he's getting ready to take over the island. I'm biased too because we had a group back in the 90s, so I'm biased about the thing. But go ahead, Iyah Gift, let them know how they can support the eye. The eye is muted. Or is that the Wi-Fi? Let me hear the eye. There's muted. Press the mute again. Try now. Block up now. Okay, we're not getting any sound. Hold on there, Farah. Let's try Sister Olivia and then we'll come forward to the eye. Because we are not Russian. We are Ethiopians. We're not in any rush family. And big up all our fans in Russia. All of the lion pride in Russia. We're not this the item, but we's not Russian. We are the Ethiopian. Sister Olivia, just give us the eye final sounds. They can support the eye. Any final sounds on the camp and then how they can tap into the eye ecosystem.
All right. Give thanks. Yes, well, final sound on the camp for this evening. It's just that it's a great experience. I'm really grateful for it. And I'm glad that, it has started. And I agree, with what Dutty was saying about it being something that is only going to get better with time. Because through the experience now, we can tailor, we can adjust, we can build upon, but it's important to have a start, and a practical start is a great way to go, because it's something that's been talked about a lot before. So it's really nice to take it into this era. And then as far as reaching out, so I teach yoga, and so I'm happy to do that, ancient Egyptian yoga, right? And mindfulness, positive thinking, right? The mindfulness techniques. And so I do enjoy teaching children, but I also enjoy teaching all ages. Honestly, I'm teaching a seniors class on Saturday. That should be really fun. I teach teenagers, I teach everybody in between. So I'm definitely loving that journey and very, very grateful for this journey to be able to share this practice, that does so much, always, brings so much peace. So I have to give thanks, for our ancestors for actually cultivating that practice and that we can access it to this day is a true blessing. So I give thanks for that. Very happy to have shared it also in retreats where ones are doing work with plant medicine and so on, and it's been really helpful to them, on their journeys and integration. And as far as music goes, definitely to reach out. Earth and the Fullness is the name for the music. And we have an EP out, have an album out this year. And it's just music that is coming directly from the soul, the universal soul that we're all connected to. It's coming from, it's coming from the heart, but it's kind of even coming from beyond there. There's that space between your unconscious and your conscious. So I really give thanks for it. It helped me a lot, and it helped other people as well. So one can tune into the music to tap into that message, and I hope that it speaks to you and that the melodies speak to you as well. If you want to support in a practical sense, then you can purchase the EP, you can purchase the album on Bandcamp, Earth and the Fullness.
Yes.
So that would be great
Go
because
on.
we are living in this reality. So definitely, an exchange of that nature, it has its practical, um, not just benefit, but it's a real support.
Yeah, man.
And yeah, because it does take a lot to make the music, so we give thanks when one's feel inspired to share in that kind of way as well. And of course, it also, if you want to support, follow on Instagram. I'm not that active on Facebook, but I'm there, right? Follow on Instagram, follow on Spotify, and comment, share the music. All of these things, it makes a big difference. It makes a really big difference because
Engagement.
yes,
Engagement is the name
everything
of the
is
game.
algorithms and stuff. So
Yeah.
while I am very grateful for ones to just listen, which is like the whole point, in order for the thing to actually extend to more and more persons, and even for me to get to hear back from you on a personal level and see the engagement on that personal level is very uplifting. So follow, like, share, comment, all of that stuff, it matters in many, many ways.
Yes. In this modern time, comments, creatives need comments.
Mm.
That's how we interact with our audience. Lion Pride, I've been asking, make sure you comment on the videos where you're watching from. We're going to set that as a standard for the network. When you watch a video, just put in the comment, watch it. And big up Sistrin from Shashamani, put in the comments, Bridging from Grenada. Identify it gives us joy to see where you're tuning in from all over the world. So make sure, and this goes for all of the guests, when you interact with their ecosystems, make sure you comment, share, press a like, cause some noise, and make the algorithm send it out, because that's how this AI works in all of these platforms. Is the more the people engage, the more they shared out. All right, Iyah, give final word sound. Your time, Iyah. See if we can hear you now. Wi-Fi the guy. What a man. What a man, devious. Sister Olivia, Wi-Fi the guy. Him just, we were here in the bridge so Isle of
Mm.
you know what I mean? And then Wi-Fi the guy just create a block. Um, drop something in the chat there, fireman, because we're gonna seal up the program. Uh, my nephews are vexed with me right now. They're waiting for their dinner. I may have Dutty Bookman here. Them, me can't go back to Jamaica if me continue with this behavior. Uh, so just drop a final sound in the chat how the ones them can link with the eye. I interviewed Iyah Gift for I Never Knew TV, so look out for that interview as well. Should be coming up on I Never Knew TV. I'm gonna bring them on this platform as well. One of my bona fide brethren from, like I said, from 9 to 5. Me know them Monday. You know what I mean? That's going on 30 years that I know Iyah Gift. So never left him out. You know what I mean? We had a group, Highly Ambassador, together, hip hop group, Ras Tafari hip hop back in the day. And the brethren is doing powerful work in the Ras Tafari hip hop, supporting Iyah Gift on our platforms, YouTube. He has a lot of videos. The brethren is doing powerful work. So this episode was a pleasure. We spoke about the Association of Rastafari Creatives virtual summer camp. I want to thank my guests for taking time out of their busy schedules. All of us are so busy. And this is par for the course. You know, when I call them during COVID, they answer the call. They've always answered the call. And this is what distinguishes them as battlefield warriors. The battlefield warriors, we are busy. But when the call is right and it aligns with our life mission, we have no choice but to answer the call. And I want to thank the item for answering the call for Rastafari youth. And I think this is going to be one of those moments in history of the movement that we will look and smile about, that we came together to really bring youth from across the globe together. And it's going to help with our retention and help us to build these physical institutions where we can ensure that we control our own narrative. And why is it important that we control our narrative, you ask? Because the time has come for the lions to tell our own story. And this is the lion's voice. Iyah.
Yeah, bless up, love. Give thanks to everyone for listening. Bless up, Brother Kwasi. Bless up, Dutty.
Yes, blessings.
Yeah, now the time has come for the lion to tell his own story. Yeah, the one them called Celestial I represent for the mighty lion voice. And this a shook up your planet tectonic. As me sip up my roots and tectonic. And you can't make me jump nor get panic. Have the engine a run like mechanic room.
The fittest of the fittest shall survive. My people, open your eyes. Wake up. Blessed love, this is Queen Omega representing for all lions and lionesses. With the lion's voice, we come to tell our story. Rastafari live it. Hey, the lion's voice. Rastafari.
It's AWTITUDE representing for Lion's Voice. Yes, massive. This is the time for I and I, the lion them to tell I and I story, our story. Yes, and we reign and rule like this. Reign and rule, yeah. Selassie, I reign and rule. You can't take the lion vibes, people. If you no fool, cause we know Selassie reign and rule. Reign and rule. Selassie, I reign and rule. Queen Omega drop them in the fire, pull from them, no Queen Omega, she reign and rule. Royal Kushite, ancient essence, Emperor Selassie in a majestical presence, flash of all sevens, projecting through I and I events. We sing a song for the king, we bring joy and blessing and overstanding, yeah. We hear Jah every day, hey. Reign and rule, yeah. Selassie, reign and rule. Yes, sir. Lion vibes, Selassie, reign and rule. Attitude say that. Boondocks, Black Organization of Global Diplomats optimizing expressions to the world. Till the world, till the end.
Amina, the time has come for the lioness to tell our own story. No surrender, no retreat, we are Jaja soldier. Rougher than the streets, tougher than a boulder. Bigging up Lamb's voice. Now put it, I jolly for say that.
Yeah, David Dread of Steel Pulse, and I'm saying hail to the lion voice because it's time that the lion have its voice, have its own story. Says I'm stepping out here. Hear me now. Yeah, the lion's voice. Raw.
Well, lion voice, tell them that's the people first choice. Lion voice, make the lioness them feel nice. Lion voice, with the lion cubs we sacrifice. Lion voice, got to show the people them the life. Lion voice.